What you just witnessed was Empire Total War 2 in its glory. And this was one of the battles that I played when I played as France, and I think we were attacking Wittenberg or some other faction, etc. So this is my humble spotlight just to say this mod is what Empire Total War should have been on launch. You know, with the amount of variety of factions and UI and music, etc. I think this is what Empire would have been had there been more time devoted to the game and to its launch, etc. This mod definitely gives that awesome sense of epic scale, epic conflicts. And let me tell you why, because I've been playing France, right? And I started as France, I started as this great kingdom, where I was poised to take on the reins of King Louis, and I would start my European expansions. But I was already beset, being attacked by the British, by the Prussians and by the Austrians, and for some obscure reason, the Austrians wanted a colony in the New World, which was New France and Arcadia, I think that was the name of that province. But as I was beset by challenges, so I created a buffer zone. I took the Rhineland, I took the Netherlands, and I took another region, which I gave to Spain and to Sweden. And I created my own separate buffer state. And while I had many problems to deal with, the armies of France fought against the enemies. Of course, we were still always being attacked by pirates and the British in the Newfoundland areas, and it was a very tough situation. I had essentially become so powerful that I went straight to the gates of Austria, I besieged it, and then I gave it to the Russians. At least now region switching makes a lot more sense in this mod, and technologies, they take a long time to pretty much research. There are dilemmas, there are events that you can do, and the main thing is, this is just one part of the mod. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because there is so much more in this mod. Each faction differs from one another. If you play Poland, you will get different faction events. You might get different faction dilemmas. Or if you play as the Ottomans, you will get a different faction element, etc. You know? Every faction you feel is unique. The music when you play as France is just glorious. I mean, it's just glorious. And the battle music is so engaging that when I was playing that battle, which was introduced in the first few seconds or so, you know, I was getting really engaged. There was rainfire, there was cannon fire, there is so much going on in this mod. It feels like I haven't even covered everything of this mod that this mod has to offer. You know, there is so much, there's a huge amount of units. There is emphasis on technology, naval research, and attrition, and how much money you will get. Plus, I am glad that you do get to have a lot of money during your turns and events. So that does help, because Empire was never really that great at its economy. I definitely feel that the economy here is much more better. Can I say on the AI being... I'm not sure, I'm not an expert on the AI. I think it gives a fairly good challenge. I haven't tried the submod, but I am really enjoying this. You know, there is so much stuff to go through. It feels like I'm in the 18th century. It makes me way more immersed into the time period than maybe vanilla. And it really increases that immersion. And plus the battles are so unique, the battles are so different. Even if the AI does, you know, whatever, but that is Empire AI. Empire AI is always a bit of a... It was never finished, to say the least. But it does give you a challenge, and diplomacy. I've been having a lot of fun. I've been trading and doing diplomatic stuff, etc. There's so much going on here, and basically you barely. This is just a glimpse of what I'm showing you. You know, there is technology research. There is so much more going on. You won't believe it. And I think this is a great Empire mod. Apparently, well, it does borrow from various Empire mods, but I think that really adds to it. I think this mod was really there for it. I think it's doing a really good job, and I've had a ton of fun. But it feels like I'm playing a game of Paradox and Civilization, and it's got an addictive one more turn. I mean, I can't stop playing as France. France is one of my most favorite factions, but if I were to play the factions, I really enjoy Spain, the Ottomans, and the Marathas, and the Mughals, and the Russians, and the Austrians. You know, there's 39 plus factions, 2,500 plus units, CAI, BAI, you know, fatigue, morale system, units do get tired. I've seen this a lot in battles, you know, and if your general just withers away, then your army can't really do much, you know. At least I'll give this, that the campaign map definitely feels far more in depth. It adds a lot of depth or whatever you want to say it is. It really does some really good stuff. Projectile system is great. You got a lot of historical portraits. If there are a few suggestions that I would make, is that the scripting ULA, I mean, when you have to press a couple of events to see that VDM is enabled, it does kind of get a little buggy. The other thing is that if you play as the Ottoman factions, or if you play as any Eastern faction like Persia or Marathas or Mughals, the music tends to be very European, and there's not enough of like desert style music or Indian music, etc. So I'd like to see more on that. It definitely does feel much more historically accurate, much more historically authentic. You know, the audio system is reworked and has done some amazing stuff, but I'm saying for a bunch of other factions, there could be more unique, more different music. But animations and graphics have been added from Poland Total War, and I played most of the campaign on the hardest level, just to see what it would be like. And it's definitely fun on a hard campaign. But I think I play the Empire campaign. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But, you know, the economy does allow the AI to build strong armies, and there is so much more in this mod that I think, you know, there is so much more. There's so much more to experience. I just don't really have any words to say, apart from the fact that this is a fantastic mod. You should really go and check it out, and it looks amazing, feels amazing. So I'm just gonna end this video off with just this battle footage. Please check out this mod. It's a really great mod, and don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on the next video. See ya.